Hello, everyone. Can I say good evening, good morning, good afternoon? I don't know what part of the world you'll be hearing us from. I'll be your host tonight, Ifeanyi Chukwunweze. And we're here today to discuss something very important that a lot concerning the finances of individuals. Especially we're clearly addressing the public, for Canadian public. Financial management and has been a very big problem to so many people. People are struggling, and people don't know how to get out of their financial circumstances situation. And for this reason, tonight, we have the privilege and the opportunity to bring you some relief because we have some professionals, people who have proven over time in their careers that been helping people out of such situations, out of financial chaos, which many we have proven records. And with me today, in this interview, I am your host though, but with me today is on my right, a friend I've known quite for a while, for some time now, and a seasoned financial planner, Isack Gabriel. You're welcome.
Pleasure, Pastor.
And then to my left is also another seasoned financial planner. And Isack is based in Ontario though, while my friend Philemon Gebreski is based in Manitoba. I hope I'm correct.
That's right.
Okay, so nice to have you guys tonight in this important topic. So if you don't mind, for the public, I want you to please give us attention, give us your audience, because something that is choking to so many families. Some people don't even call it a problem, but over time you come to think that ignorance is a problem, because if you don't know it, you don't know it. And sometimes you think you know it, you might be even swimming into chaos, disaster. So today, we want to address some of those things. So as I will be taking some of these questions to these professionals so that they could help us to address them in a way to provide solutions that eventually so many people who listen to us this day will eventually, if you practice what they will give you tonight, this day, you eventually be pulling yourself out from the mask that's been covering your face over time. So thank you. As I would want to start up with you, Isack. Why do most people struggle financially in Canada? What would you say is the reason why most people struggle financially in Canada generally?
All right, thank you for the invite. My name is Isack Gabriel. I'm based in Toronto, Ontario. I'm licensed in 5 provinces, and also the question is very profound. And as you said, a mask. Most people, they don't think financial issues are a problem until they reach out. They say, like, what am I doing wrong? And that time you find out it becomes a problem. So the challenge is that we're not informed enough when it comes to finances. That means the basic things that we do, income, expenses. You know, I used to say my grandma was the best money manager because she has so little, but she makes sure that everything falls in place.
Right.
But nowadays we have a lot, and the thing is we don't know who's taking our money. So one of the things are like, it's not how much you make, how much you keep. It looks very simple, and you don't need to have a rocket science to understand it. That's why my grandma was so good at it. My grandpa was good at farming, but she was good at that keeping money. That means you don't need to have a college, but you need a financial education. In that sense is how much you bringing in, what's going out, who is taking actually money. One time I was like, you know, I'm a financial professional, and we all struggle when it comes to money.
Right.
So that's one of the reality. So I posed all the subscription I had, and I said the important ones, I start paying them annually. So nobody takes money from me every month. So that time I control what goes in, what goes out every month. So every year I review what I need to keep, what I don't need to keep. So why people struggle is because One is you're not educated enough. And the second thing, so many people are taking your money that you don't know they're taking it because it's so smooth. So you say like, I'm not doing anything. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But you may be drinking outside coffee every day, which is $6-7 plus a muffin. That can be costing you $500,000 in 30 years.
Do you mean that something as little as a cup of coffee could actually affect somebody's financial
Definitely.
situation?
Yeah, definitely. Because here's the thing. You know better, you do better.
Right.
So when it comes to money, you keep little, it becomes more. If you cannot keep a dime, a nickel, you cannot keep, if you cannot keep a dime, you cannot keep a nickel. So everything is small disciplines that adds up, over time.
There
So,
we go.
sometimes people, they say, oh, what's $300? I cannot do, I will start when I make 100,000, I can start saving on. But the amount that you save when you were small, in a small amount, that can actually compound effect in the long term. So most people struggle because they don't know better and you cannot do better. But the small things that you're doing every day that are setting you up for a struggle. And you wouldn't know it because it comes through small licks, creates a big hole.
Okay. So, Philemon,
Yes,
do you
sir.
think is there some other areas you want to look at it from and then still educate the people or concerning why people are struggling? Or do you think he nailed it over completely?
He did a great job, and I might add some points in
That's
there.
it. Okay.
My name is Philemon. Yes, I'm a financial professional. I have been in the industry for about 6 to 7 years now. It has been an incredible journey working with people. But before
From
I dive,
Winnipeg, Manitoba. in case
yes,
you
I'm
didn't
in
know.
Winnipeg, Manitoba. But before I dive into the question, I would like to clarify something.
Okay.
Many people come to this country, especially Canada and the U.S. and Western country from Africa, different parts of the world. We come for a better life,
Right.
and we don't have a definite answer for what a better life looks like. So we come here. We come here. You come as a blind man. Another blind person carries you. What happens?
Okay.
If a blind leads another blind,
They both fall into a ditch.
correct. So why do
Is that a
people
better place to
struggle?
be?
Exactly. Where do people struggle? Why do people struggle financially? The number one reason is financial illiteracy. You're easily informed or misinformed. I'll give you a
are
personal
either
example.
informed or you are misinformed.
Correct.
You cannot be in both.
I'll give you a personal example. When I came to this country in 2019, I walked into a bank with someone, and they offered me a credit card, and the person told me, yeah, you can take it. I said, why? He said, everybody has it, and I refused to get it. So because I didn't have that literacy, and I wasn't confident enough to ask for it.
Right.
So the first thing is education, which is especially financial education. I'm not talking about academic education, but financial literacy
Right.
is number one.
Okay.
Number two, why people struggle, there is a difference between what you need and what you want. For example, let's talk about water. You need water to live. You might not need another shoes to live. So you have to differentiate between what you need and what you want.
Need and want.
Correct. I'll tell you why need and want. The Canadian and American system is created in a way that is very convenient for people to spend money. I'll give you an example. If you're driving on a highway, to your right side, there is always a restaurant to spend money. Guess
All
what?
right.
You don't need to get out of your car. It's called a drive-through. You drive through, you order through the second window.
And then
You
you tap
pay.
your card.
Correct. You tab and you pay, and next window you get the order done. So this is the convenience that most people get. So that Isack mentioned about the leaks, right? If you have small leaks, they add up over time, and that leads to a problem.
Wow. Great, great, great question. So great answers. Yeah, so that's an exposure though, because some of these are exposing and opening eyes into, so I just understand that tiny things, tiny drops of water makes a mighty ocean.
Correct.
As the cliche goes. That's wonderful. Then what would you say the Canadian system is that it's kind of, is there anything in the system of Canada that you discover that make people really struggle financially in the Canadian system, but that chokes people? I put back to you, Philemon.
I believe yes, there is one thing called debt, DEBT.
That, yeah, that, yeah.
For example, where I came from a country called Eritrea. I grew up in Sudan. Then,
Okay.
I've had experience from those two countries. I never used a credit card in my life. The first time I was exposed to credit is in this country. So what happens is you come to a country that is many people are struggling financially and they have to work multiple jobs to make ends meet. And you see the number one problem is debt that's making people run every day. And from the years of experience living in this country for the last 7 years, I see that the system is created for credit expansion. The minute you walk into an institution that gives, money out as a loan, whether it's credit card, car loans, mortgages, and stuff like that, the system is there to trap you from a perspective.
Oh.
You just have to understand what you're taking before you sign up something.
Isaac,
Yes.
do you agree with him that easy money, easy loans, because in some society, people struggle to get loans and to get money.
Yep.
And here you get it easy.
Correct.
So do you see these easy loans and easy credits or something as potential threats to that to make people poorer or struggle?
Yeah, by the way, if you want to borrow from a bank, number one. Borrow from a bank. Don't borrow from easy peasy. They have a lot of different names. Don't borrow because they charge really high interest.
Don't borrow from Isack.
Don't borrow from that. I'm not going to lend you. So that's not a problem. But the struggle is, it comes back to the baseline, right? What you come from is either it will help you or it will help you to prosper. Or I believe, especially when coming from an African background and as an East African, I never knew a bank. Forget about using a bank. I don't know that bank. You put money in a bank. When I first came in, the first time it was when I opened a bank. That's where I know a bank. I know you guys came from Nigeria. You come from Nigeria, and that's, at least, yeah, you still carry some of your bank accounts, as he told me. I don't have those things. And we didn't have that luxury of that, most of us. So the struggle is, it's called cultural shock. You coming from a place where nobody will lend you money.
Yeah.
Suddenly everybody dropping you cards in your house. And you go, they work. I want to eat, no problem. I want to send money, no problem. And when you do it a lot, the thing is, they say a borrower is a slave to a lender.
A borrower is a slave to the lender.
So that means
credit cards means
makes you a slave, technically. Other loans can be more beneficial depending on how you use them. Especially some business people can use credit cards when they're struggling. That's fine because they know they have better plans. They're not stressing about debt. But as an average person that spends a lot of money, blow a lot of money out, and he thinks like, oh, how did it accumulate? That means the guy didn't have a plan actually when he was first spending. How did that accumulate? How did it reach this much? There's a word called that I was saying today earlier in the it says there is a spiral. So that means, let's say, you know what? Usually when people get cancer, right? It spreads quick, fast if they don't catch it early.
right.
That can be like as a cancer. If you don't understand, if you don't know how to use it, there is a way to get out. Don't stress if you're in debt. But you don't have to stress if you're in debt. I will say it again. You don't have to stress. There's a way to get out. But before you get out, you should set out a plan. Because the thing is, they say, when you're in a mud, driving, don't try to just get out of the mud, but think of building a road for next time.
Wow.
Otherwise, you're always going to come through the mud. Then you remember only, it's the same mud again, So build a roadmap for yourself. Like before you come here, read certain books. There's called Psychology of Money, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich. There are books that you need, because when we come in, there was a video that I was laughing one time. People from outside, they think when we come diaspora, they think like we just go shave and make money from a tree. You know, shaving the tree,
Right.
and the money's blowing up. And the people, when they come here, they want to meet that expectation. You understand? So they try to live big even if they don't have, or they try to send a lot of money if they don't have. So I met a lot of people that came in within 2-3 years, different African nations, different African countries, and they're so stressed because they're trying to keep demands of their own family. Because it cannot be for somebody before you become someone. You gotta be somebody before you meet somebody's demand. That puts you into debt. And that thing, the people who live in diaspora, they deserve to get recognized that they need to live. So that means if you wanna live big on me, you should understand yourself how to live big there too. You need to create for something. So we should. I think the misinformation that the people who live there long enough, they misguide us for so long. They tell us all the lies. You know, oh, it's here. But tell us the truth to understand it before we come here. Tell us about the credit cards. Tell us how we struggle. So we can become better prepared. I was telling earlier this a few years ago, this guy is a friend of mine. He's a tailor. So he was telling me like, oh, I want to do my business when I come. And I told him, you know what I told him? Come with 6 months emergency fund. The rest, start a business right away. He came in, he got opportunity, boom, he got in. Earlier he said, opportunity fund. Did it, no struggle. He did his business from day one and is still doing his business.
Wow. So what that translates to is that it is because people when they get, there are easy ways for spending it.
Yeah.
So when you give money to someone who does not have savings plan, he finds it easy way to spend. Yeah. And that's why credit cards fly so easily. Yeah. And indeed, eventually, spending is easier, but paying back becomes a lot of problem.
And on top of that, if I may add,
yeah,
he mentioned a great point. I think it's a biblical phrase that says, or verse, a borrower is a slave to the lender.
Is a slave to a lender,
so
correct.
Back in the days, a slave means somebody who was taken...
captive.
Yeah, captive.
Yeah.
And but in the modern world, a slave is not taken captive anymore. It's a trap, especially financially, when it comes to the financial world, through credit cards, debt, and all that stuff. And Isack mentioned that he opened his credit card or a bank account basically in Canada, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I remember back in Eritrea, my first account was a bank book. Bank book.
Yeah.
Then I came to Sudan. I opened my first bank account. There is no credit card. It's just an account. And I work hard and I get paid and I can go any ATM and take money out. I know what a debit card is,
right?
But I never knew what a credit card was until I came to this country.
Yeah.
So I believe one of the main problems is convenience in spending money creates a lot of problem in families.